Hey everybody, Tia Torres here again with another episode from my Convicts Anonymous platform. And as you can see, I am still on the old laptop because I got the grainy footage going on. You can see my new laptop right there. It just came back from getting repaired. Doesn't work for crap. They didn't fix it. I just tried it right now. So frustrated. So we're going to go with the old reliable one right now. Okay. So today I want to talk about prison scams. Okay. And believe it or not, the biggest prison scam is not what you think. So I just realized my glasses reflect the light. You know what's funny? I don't even really need them. I only need them for reading, and I don't know, I feel comfortable having them on. But it is what it is. Anyways, the scams, the biggest scam in prison is not what you think. I'm going to save it for later, but let's talk about the one most commonly talked about, and that's money. Okay? So most of the things that inmates will ask for is obviously commissary money for food, money for supplies, for hygiene, and then phone money. Okay. It's understandable. I get it. But my advice, and I know every inmate's going to hate me for saying this, but oh well, this is what I did, is if the person you're starting to correspond with asks for the money right away, play a little hard to get. Don't just say yes out the gate. You know, give it a minute or a couple of minutes or a few minutes. Meaning, I'm being sarcastic. Give it a few phone calls and a few letters and whatnot, and just say, "Hey, I don't got it. I don't got it." Not only does that kind of like give you a chance to kind of say, "Hey, do I want to continue this?" But let's see if the person you're corresponding with continues to want to talk to you. Because if they're only in it for money, they're going to move on to the next person. Okay, so my last two convict relationships, oh my God, that sounds so horrible, doesn't it? Both of which became my husband. Um, one of them asked me for money right away. The other one did not. Now, interestingly enough, the one that asked me for money, which was AJ, um, it was legit. He actually was going to pay me back. He had money in his inmate account. So, he said, if you can do this for me and buy me these clothing articles, I can reimburse you right away. I didn't believe him. It turned out to be true. But still, it put me out. I was like, no, ew, no. The other guy, Tony, didn't ask me for money. I actually and eventually offered him money, to help him out. And he was just like, no, it's okay. And I did it anyways. And he was very, very thankful. So, um, again, just play a little bit hard to get. Okay. Now, when you're putting money on their phone or their commissary, you're doing it through these secured websites that are set up by the prisons. Um, be aware of how much you're putting on. Now, the websites do keep track of it for you, but if you're only talking to your person in prison, like, I don't know, once a week, and they're asking you for a lot of phone money, like, wait a minute, whose phone calls am I paying for? I ain't paying for nobody else's phone calls. I'll pay for the ones I'm talking to you, but I ain't paying for anybody else's. So, just kind of be aware of that, because that might kind of give you some hints as to what's going on. With commissary, they're normally only allowed a certain amount every month. So, that's a tough one. It's a tough one because prison food isn't exactly the greatest, and they do need other supplies. But again, if they're asking for a lot right up front, I don't know, that's just, I get it. There's a lot of inmates that are very sincere and they're desperate and they're hungry and they need toothpaste. But you also have to protect what's yours as well. So, helping a little bit here and there until you really get to know that person, which is kind of a interesting statement, because how well do you really get to know somebody, right? And mind you, somebody out here in the free world can scam you just as bad as somebody in prison. So this is not a prison inmate convict thing, okay? It can happen to you out here as well. So, you know, there are things, like I said, I used to like, there were things that I questioned, my people on, as well. And we'll get into that in another episode, because that's what I'm going to get into, like the biggest scam. Um, the other thing, oh my God, it's getting cold here. The other thing that I would recommend in the techie world of all these cool things you can do now, and these apps on your phone, you got Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, Stripe, all that. Okay, I'm going to say this very delicately. Inmates now, with all the new technology, have other ways to get what they need without having to go through the prison system and basically get more bang for their buck. For example, there are inmates and prison staff, I know, shocking, who, for a price, because they need the money, will bring extra food to an inmate. Um, and I don't even mean like illegal stuff. I just mean like extra food. Like, for example, where Tony's at, they have what they're called fundraisers, although I don't know who's getting the money, where they bring in pizza, like Domino's pizza. And so the inmates are allowed to have their family pay for it through the prison, and then they bring in pizzas. Of course, they charge way more than the pizzas really cost. So I don't know who's getting, like I said, I don't know who's the one getting the extra money, but some of the staff make extra money off these pizzas, and so you can get money funneled through them. Cash App, again, all these other apps where you'll send money to, like, probably the wife or somebody of one of the staff members, or the correctional officers. Technically, like I said, not a big deal. It's pizza, but I would stay away from those for now. Okay? Just, I'm not saying forever, but for now. It's frowned upon, of course, within the prison system, as far as like what they allow. But this is where I get to say something really stupid. Everybody does it. There, I said it. The reason I say just kind of stay away from it for now until you really kind of get your bearings around the prison world is, I know of a woman who did that. She was constantly sending money through maybe PayPal to an outside source who was obviously related to somebody who worked at the prison, who was getting her boyfriend, she thought, extra food. Yeah, it wasn't for extra food. It turned out to be drugs. And next thing she knows, she got dragged into this investigation. Now, I think what probably saved her ass that she was in a different country. So they were like, screw that, we're not going to go all the way there. But the thing is, she legitimately was not funding this drug business. But they cut her communication off. She couldn't talk to him anymore. And they had been talking for a while. So this wasn't like just some guy she met. So she was pretty distraught. I can't remember how long, or if she was ever, I think it was like years before she was allowed to talk to him again. Yeah. So be aware, be aware. You know, it's a catch-22 because, again, you can get just as scammed out here for money as you can through people in prison. I think the healthy way to look at this is that if you're giving money to somebody in prison, you're doing it to truly help them. And if they disappear on you, it's going to suck. It's going to hurt. But you know what? I guess you were helping them for that time being. So it's all up for a subjective argument as to what do you want out of this relationship? Is it just kind of giving you some companionship and someone to talk to and just maybe you're lonely? Are you just paying for their time through food? I don't know. So there's no quick fix to this. You can't like infiltrate their phone log to see who they're talking to. Um, but I am going to be talking about the biggest scam on the next episode, which again, I know y'all thought it was going to be money. So you can follow me and other prison related topics and podcasts on my Patreon platform. If you go to patreon.com and you can search in the little search bar for Convicts Anonymous. And I'm also going to be posting a lot of stuff on my YouTube channel, which is under my name, Tia Torres. Everything prison will be there, right there for you. I also have a female oriented Facebook group. It's for women who have a loved one in prison, whether it's a child, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a wife, a husband, a father, a mother, a relative. It's called Doing the Time with Tia Torres, and it's by invite only. And it's a really good support group. I don't allow any bashing of anybody or bullying of anybody. You can ask whatever you want to ask, and the women there are very supportive. Okay, so we'll get on to the next scam and really get into the meat and potatoes of what can happen. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.